What's happening, everybody? Well, took the car to the track after pointing the intake manifold, and before I get into the results though, I want to send a big shout out to my boy Big B15 over on Instagram. Check his page out. It's big.b15. He's got a ton of car related stuff, Mopar related stuff. He is driving a sick to death black on black Scat Pack. Love that car, man. I got a great view of his taillights on my first pass down the track, so check that page out. I think you'll like it. So here's the results. Was it much of a result? Not much, but I did get a result out of it. Now, just to give you guys some technical data, the passes that I'm comparing this to are taken at Royal Purple Raceway. If you're looking the DAs up on drag times, you'll find it under Houston Raceway Park. These passes, the original passes, the control passes, so to speak, were the 17th of June. And this particular pass was at about 11:46 p.m. and DA came in at about 19:45. The passes that I just made in August, which is August 12th, 2016, roughly 9:30, 9:45 p.m. The DA was 21:34. So I was running in a slightly elevated DA, but not enough to really make much of a difference. Track conditions, by the way, about the same as they were the first time I took the car to the track. So everything checks out pretty well identical. Now, what I needed to do is I needed to find some time slips where the 60 foot was more or less the same. The control 60 foot 1937 passes that were taken this past this past Friday, 8/12. That 60 foot was 1927. So again, very, very, very close. Here are those time slips. I don't know if you can see these all that well. Hope you can. It's focusing. Give you guys the time slips. So, how did it do? Well, car ran at 12.629 up against a 12.666 control. Difference in that 60 foot would have put that 66 probably at about a 46. So again, not much of a difference there. Mile per hour at 111.05, whereas at mile per hour on that control at 110.89. So, is that enough of a result? Well, yes and no. Here's the thing. Towards the end of the night, DAs did not get any better. I was kind of hoping to cheat it down a little bit, and I did let the car cool off quite a bit, lined it up, and I did get my 12.5 pass. I got a 12.590 at just under 111 miles an hour. So yeah, I was able to cut a number that I was looking for, but I'm not so sure that the mod was actually worth the time and effort that I put into it. Granted, I could have gone a little bit more aggressive, but I just don't think that this intake is going to benefit from any more porting. There are some services out there that do some very professional jobs at porting the intake. I think in this car's case though, it's more of a secondary mod. In other words, if you've gone with a supercharger or you're going with a stroker, then yeah, I would go ahead and port the intake, but not so sure that it made that much of a difference. But I will say this, it did make a slight difference. So if you're going after a number, let's say you're running 12.0s all night long and you're stymied at a 12.0 with one of these cars and you just need a little bit more to get that 11.9 time slip, yeah, it's worth it for that. But that's about it. You're not going to pick up too much. I think the average that I was picking up throughout the course of the night, again, in a little bit higher DA, but not enough to really call it, I was picking up about just under a quarter of a mile an hour and about, just, I don't know, a quarter of a tenth for the most part. So yeah, it does make a slight difference, but I just don't know that it's worth going through the hassle, going through the headaches of doing it. But it was a fun mod for me to do, got me involved a little bit more with the car, and that's really, if you're into these things, that's really what it's all about. So anyway, I hope this helps you guys out make the decision. Post up your results if you've ported your intake or if you've had one professionally ported, let me know. By the way, I am still running the stock throttle body. I know that quite a few guys have had their intakes ported and then ran the larger throttle body and might see a little bit different of a result than this. But if you have, cool, post it up. I'd love to hear about it. That's about it for this mod. Y'all have a great one. Adios.